Are you serious? Are you serious? Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Inventions. So, yes, my boiler exploded. I did not realize when I set down my crystal growth accelerators here, I cut off the infinite spring to my aqueous accumulator. Well, that caused my boiler to run out of water and it blew up. Well, it's a good thing that I intended to move all of this stuff, or the great majority of it, but just the same, this is just irritating. I lost 2 of my crystal growth accelerators, I lost my ME controller, I lost a good portion of my firebox, and my boiler itself, one of the redstone furnaces, a bunch of redstone flux ducts, a whole bunch of dirt. And when I had that happen, my inventory filled up with saplings. So it destroyed one of the sapling barrels as well, but that's okay. We get tons of saplings. But so, yeah, I think it's probably going to be time to start pulling a whole bunch of this stuff down and reworking it so that it fits a little better. And I don't know, maybe we'll look at getting some upgrades on our better barrels so that we don't have all of these barrels laying around this time around. But yeah, this is going to take a little bit of time to clean up. So I'm going to start pulling down things that I don't need. And yeah, I will be back once this is all cleaned up and I've got some stuff working again. So I've gotten most everything cleaned up here. I also did a little bit of terraforming behind where the boiler was before and removed that little lake. And the reason for that is I want to build a little bit of a powerhouse here. And I'm going to do that with sandstone and regular bricks. So I had a little bit of help in gathering up a whole bunch of sandstone. And so I'm going to start building that. I'm going to be using sandstone for the border around the outside, and then the bricks in the center. Going to have a little bit of glass, maybe some iron bars. Not sure what it's going to look like yet. I'm not going to make it real big, but one thing that I did come across, and I really think this looks cool, I'm going to be putting a smokestack on top of this thing. And we have this thing here, it's called a smoker from Railcraft, and it puts out a column of smoke particles. Now, I know this is just for show, but I think it looks really cool. So I'm going to be putting this on top of the smokestack so that it actually looks like there's fuel being burned. And yeah, I'm going to get a little bit of that done. Come back and we'll take a look at it and see. Yeah, I think it'll look pretty cool. So I've had a slight change in plans on where this thing is going to be built. I'm going to be building it here in this big flat area, but I ran into this spot here where I don't have, well, filled ground. But I'm filling this in using these Better Builders wands. These stone wands, they're really cheap to make. They're just 2 sticks and a piece of cobblestone. They can place up to 5 blocks at a time in a horizontal position. And yeah, they really speed things up. They're very cheap, and you can just sit here and do the typical builder's wand stuff. So yeah, I'm using this to lay this out. I'm gonna be trying to level out a very large area here. So I'm gonna keep working on this, and thank God for these builder's wands, is all I can say. And doesn't look like they work underwater. Well, that kind of sucks. But I could always make a sponge here, and I might just do that real quick. So we do have sponges available for crafting in this pack. I'm just gonna make sure that nothing spawns here. I took out the garden, so this is slowly turning back to dirt. So if we look up sponge, so we can make sponges from open blocks. Just a piece of wool and a piece of slime. We also have dry plain sponges from thermal expansion, slime, string, and sawdust. Now, we also have the magmatic sponge from thermal expansion, which takes a magma cream instead of a slime ball. And then there's the regular sponge from Minecraft or at Futurum. So yeah, there's a couple of them there. This one here is the creative from thermal expansion. It does not do us any good because there's no recipe. But so yeah, sponges are pretty easy to make here. We just need one of those and one of these. Well, I guess don't have inventory space. So I'll just take this and combine those. Now, if I remember correctly, this sponge has durability, but it can also be used to make a sponge on a stick. And this one I know has durability, but I'm pretty sure that just the sponge by itself has durability. So I want to double check this here real quick. So if I drop this down, yeah, so it just keeps pulling everything up. Interesting. So if I pick this back up, no, it does not have durability. It'll just pick up water repeatedly. Interesting. So that's pretty nice. So I'll probably be using those a little more frequently now. But so I'm gonna fill this all in, keep working on the layout of this building, and I have a feeling that making this is pretty much going to be the whole episode today. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing any time lapses, but I would sure like to. But yeah, I will keep working on it. Be back in a little bit to let you guys know how things are going. Well, I think this is pretty well getting the look that I'm going for. The only problem that I can see with it is this is going to take a lot of bricks. I've already collected a huge amount of clay, but I just really get a feeling I'm going to run out. But I've got several stacks of bricks here. I guess I'll just go until I run out, and then I'll have to figure it out from there, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to keep putting these walls up here. Now, one thing that I am kind of wondering what I'm going to do is in this area. Now, I suppose what I could do is a very similar style of window, but instead go 2 wide instead of a single block wide. I suppose that would probably work. Now, I want to have a very large opening here in the front, and I want to make it kind of a large arch type opening. And what I'm thinking to do with this is I'm going to put the power production in here, but also I think I'm going to put my ore production and things like that, possibly the blast furnace and the coke oven, but any of the stuff involved in making ore, I think I want to, or ingots, I want to put in here. So, I don't know, this is going to take a little bit more thought yet, and I guess I can put the window in here, the glass. So I'm just using the same glass that I've been using pretty much everywhere else, this borderless glass from Chisel. Cut these into half slabs so that it gives a little bit more depth to the building. That's one thing that I've really been going for here, is some depth. So we have a foundation of stairs, then we have our wall pillars sticking out in front of it, then the windows are set back in half a block, then we get that border around the top. And I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do for the roof is nether brick stairs. Now, my initial thought was to use stone brick stairs, but I think I'm going to go with nether brick instead. And then we'll have the single chimney sticking up way above the thing. So yeah, I think I'm going to continue going on this, and we'll see how it looks after a few more walls are put up. So I'm starting to put the roof on this thing, and the more that I look at it, I'm not really liking the entrance too much. It's like it's too big and bulky. I don't know. Just doesn't feel right. But I tried with stairs on the roof, and it just seemed too steep and too tall. So I'm doing the half slab step instead. And yeah, it seems to do a lot better on the roof, but the entrance, I just don't know. I don't know if I need to get rid of this or what, but yeah, it just does not look right. Something about it just doesn't seem right. I don't know. I suppose for now I'm just going to leave it the way that I had it, and I'll see if I can get the rest of it done and just see how it looks after that. But not really. Something about it doesn't seem right. It might have to do with the sandstone, and then that most of the rest of it is stone bricks. I don't know. But on the sides, it looks really good. So, yeah, it's... I don't know. But now I have started putting the roof on. Like I said, it's nether brick. It is taking a huge amount of nether brick to do this. And, yeah, it comes right up to the edge. Put a little bit of detail on the ends here. That is just an upside down stair with a micro block on top of it. But, yeah, I'm just not digging this entrance. But I am going to have to go to the nether and get a whole bunch more netherrack and nether bricks because, well, I ran out. So, yeah, it's just never-ending process of gathering stuff, it seems like. So I'm going to head off to the nether, get a whole bunch of stuff, and I will be back. Well, after thinking about this building for... well, quite some time, I still haven't come to a decision as to what I want to do with the front of it here. And so, yeah, I think I'm just going to put that on hold for a little bit, and I'm going to do something else for a little while. So over in our mining dimension, we've been quarrying out holes, and the problem is we've got a set of storage drawers over there. And we'll go over there and take a look at it real quick. But it's constantly a problem having to deal with these storage drawers. So every time that I move the quarry, I have to move these drawers, and it just becomes a big issue all the time. So I think what I want to do is get an applied energistic system set up to accept the stuff from our turtles. And in order to do that, we are going to have to make some solar panels. So, you know, the aroma mining dimension, there is one really nice thing about that, and that is that the sun never sets. It is stuck at noon, I believe. So we can make solar panels and not have to worry about it. So if we look up solar, we have several options for solar panels here. So of course we have the advanced solar panels. These guys we're not going to be doing anything with for quite some time. We do have the compact solar arrays as well, which take these regular solar panels. But once again, yeah, I don't think I really want to be dealing with this kind of resource drain at the moment. And also, I don't really want to be producing EU. I want to be producing RF. So solar expansion gives us the ability to produce RF. Well, these guys aren't nearly as bad as the others. We need iron nuggets, lapis shards, and glass panes of some kind. So we have tons of glass here, and actually I think we have some glass panes even somewhere. Well, we've got a few. But I'm going to make up a whole bunch of these. So then we need lapis shards. So let's go ahead and grab a bunch of lapis blocks, and then we need iron nuggets. And it doesn't look like I have any left at the moment, so we're going to grab a whole bunch of iron blocks because I think we're going to need some more of those anyway. So that's not a crafting table. So we need to make a whole bunch more of these glass panes. So yeah, that's plenty. So let's unpack some lapis and let's make us some lapis shards. Okay, now let's unpack some iron and we'll make some iron nuggets. So we can make these photovoltaic cells now. We can only make 51. Ooh, interesting. Well, let's go ahead and make a few more of these iron nuggets then. We have tons of iron, so we don't have to worry about that. I just want to make as many of them as I can. So there is 64 and 41. That'll get us a little ways. Next, we need these leadstone solar cores. So we need iron ingots and lead nuggets for this. So let's go ahead and grab some lead. And we've got plenty of this as well. And I think we're going to use up these loose ones first. So let's go ahead and unpack this. And we'll make some nuggets. So we need the ingots and nuggets. Yeah, that'll get us somewhere. Next, we need steel nuggets and redstone. So steel, we have quite a bit of that still. So I blocked a lot of the steel. And then we need redstone, which is over here. So let's just go ahead and grab a whole bunch of redstone. And we need to make steel nuggets. And that should be able to make, well, a few of these anyway. So there's 12 of them. We need to make a few more of the steel nuggets. Well, not that many. The good part is whatever we have left, we can always put back into ingot form. So, yeah, that's no problem. And then we also need a little bit more redstone. And that will make an additional 20 of these. So now we have, I can't tell if that's 32 or 33. It should be 32, I think. And now we can go on to the hardened version. The hardened just takes some Invar nuggets around the leadstone cores. So let's go ahead and grab some Invar. And Invar. Where are you, Invar? I know I have it here. It's green. That's why I can't find it. It's really weird. Alright, so first we need to make some more of these leadstone solar cores. And now I suppose we're missing iron nuggets, aren't we? Or iron ingots. Make a few more of these. One more? No. A few more. Oh, we're out of lead. Okay. Well, actually, that should be more than enough of those. So we need some of the Invar nuggets. That should be a great deal plenty. Go ahead and grab the hardened. And now we can make 4 of these. That's pretty cool. So the redstone versions, we can't quite go to that yet, I don't think. Well, no, we do have Electrum. When I think about it, we do have Electrum. So what I will probably do, I've got to make another set of those. I'll do that off camera. I'm not going to do that right now. And we are really starting to get a jumbled up mess of an inventory here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear this inventory all out and maybe make the other 4 of these hardened solar panels. I'll come back with the resources that we need to make the easiest ME system that we can. Well, hopefully I've done all my math correctly, but in this chest we have, well, I guess we only needed one of these. But in this chest we have what we need to make the redstone solar panels. So we need to make one of these first, and then we need to take our 8 hardened solar panels, and there we go. So that's going to make 128 RF a tick, and that's pretty nice. Or no, 64 RF a tick. I am sorry. So that's the first step, and we're just going to go ahead and break this guy. And we might as well just drop the rest of this stuff off here somewhere, I suppose, in there. Yeah. So in these 2 chests is what we need for our applied energistics. So first off, we are going to go with this chest right here. Now this may not look like much, and this is all that it should take to make a 16K storage drive. So I'm hoping I figured everything out right. So first we need to make 9 of the 1K and, oh, that chainsaw. So 9 of the 1K. So that's pretty simple. Then we need to make a 4K storage device, or component. So, or we need to make 3 of those, I guess. So there's that, and then we need the 16K storage component, which is 3 of those 4K. So there's the 16K, and then we will make the actual storage cell. So there we go, our first 16K storage cell. And that's kind of odd to start out with the 16K. So now what are we going to be putting this in? That's the next question. So I had thought about setting up a full-on ME system with a controller and a drive system and a crafting terminal and all of that good stuff. No reason for that. We're going to take the contents of this chest minus 2 of the Fluix dust, and we're just going to make an ME chest. Simple. So to make the ME chest, first we need to make an ME terminal. So for this we need the illuminated panel. Now this is going to make 3 of them, but we do have to make it. So we get that, and then we can go on to make these guys. So we need the formation core, which is Certus, Fluix, and a logic processor. Then we're going to do the same thing with nether quartz instead of Certus quartz, and that gives the annihilation core. Now we will make our terminal with another logic processor. So there's our terminal, and that's it. We need 2 ME glass cable, which we've already made, and there we go, ME chest. And with those 3 items, we should be able to hold all of the items that are in our quarry world. So I think we're going to go and give this a try. Now, I don't know for sure if this can pump into it with a pipe. I have never tried this before, but it is something that I want to try and find out if this works. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set down this chest. We're going to set the solar panel on top of it. Now the solar panel only emits power below it. And then we're going to drop in our storage cell, and let me guess, we have to be able to interact with the top of this thing. Yeah, it was on for a second, so we need to get an energy conduit. So let's go ahead and grab one of these, and we'll set our solar panel here, and there we go. So we can hold 64 items in here. Let's see here. No, we don't have 64 items here. So now we are going to go ahead and take a chest. Well, I guess we've got one in our inventory. Why don't we just try it with a hopper? This would be an easy way to find out. So we'll drop in a hopper, see... Lo and behold, 2 chests. Nice. So we can pump into this thing. That is something that I had not tried yet. So we'll still use the regular wooden chests to collect the items from the turtles, but then we'll just have the item ducts pump into the chest instead of into the storage drawer system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all of these items and move them in here. Now we may want to see if we can figure out something to filter out dirt and cobblestone, because that will plug up the system very, very, very quickly. So I'm going to see what I can figure out with that. I'm going to get all of this cleaned up, and I'll be back in a little bit. So I have the ME chest set up in the mining dimension, And I've come up with an idea of how we can deal with the cobblestone and dirt. And it's very simple. We're going to put an export bus on the side of it and export it back into the remainder of the storage drawer system. So to make an export bus, we need a piston, iron ingots, and a formation core. So let's go ahead and grab that formation core that we didn't use. We need 2 iron ingots, and I already grabbed a piston. So that's pretty simple stuff. So there we go, export bus. Alright, so next we need a capacity card so that we can use more than one item in the export. So that's the wrong card. We need 3 more iron, 2 gold, 1 redstone, and a calculation processor. So 3 more iron, 2 gold, redstone, and a calculation processor. So let's go ahead and set all of this up. Wait, something's not right there. Yeah, I thought something wasn't right there. So let's go ahead and set this up right this time. There we go, 2 of those basic cards. Now to make this into a capacity card, we just need some Certus quartz. So that's pretty simple. So we're going to take one of our pure Certus quartz, and we're just going to make one of these. Now I would also like to make an acceleration card. Now this takes a Fluix crystal and an advanced card. I think I may wait on that. So I'm going to drop off this extra card here. We need a couple of cable. And we're going to head back over to the mining dimension and get this set up. So right now I have this wonderful spider web of item ducts, and this is pulling the redstone out of this oak drawer. Now it's just about done. I can see we've got roughly a stack and a half, but you can see we have quite a bit of stuff here. It's really nice to be able to see it in such a compact form, be able to see how many of each we have and everything like that without even having to worry about it. Now one thing you notice, the screen just blinked on this. The ME chest does not have enough power storage, internal power buffer, to allow an entire stack to go in. So that kind of sucks, but you can see we're gaining cobblestone right now, and we have a fair amount of dirt. So we're going to grab 1 piece of cobblestone, 1 piece of dirt, and we're going to set this up. And I guess we only needed 1 of the ME glass cable, but that's okay. So we're going to put a glass cable down, we're going to put down our export bus, we're going to throw in our capacity card, and we're going to drop in the dirt and the cobblestone. So that took everything that could, and now we should, if we look in here, we should start to see our cobblestone or dirt should start to decrease here in just a bit. I hope. I am really hoping this drawer controller will accept inputs from an export bus, but I'm not seeing a change anywhere. Well, if this doesn't work, I'm going to be a little unhappy. But I guess what we could do also, if we go ahead and grab the drawer controller. Bye-bye. Okay, well, let's try this. If we put the storage drawer for the cobblestone right up against this guy, now is that going to work? So let's see, how much cobblestone do we have in here right now? We have 10,241. I have more storage upgrades in here, so it should allow more to go in. Maybe applied energistics won't interact with storage drawers. I'm not sure. Well, here, let's go ahead and move this back again. And let's put a hopper down here and see, because I'm pretty sure hoppers will interact with these guys. So Is this going to do anything now? Or can we not export out of an ME chest? That could be the problem. Well, if that's the problem, then I'm going to have to stop this further down, because that's going to really stink. And I think that may be what it is. So yeah, I'm going to have to try to figure out what I'm going to do with the item ducts down there to keep the cobblestone and dirt out. I suppose for now I'll just let it go in for these quarries, because, well, that one is getting pretty low. This one's not very big. And I think the last time that I looked, we were only at about 7,000 of 16,000 bytes used. So yeah, we're at about 6,500 of the 16,000 bytes used. So we've got a little ways to go before we're actually going to run out of space on that drive. But I think I am going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been doing, be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!